Good morning, and welcome to the live stream service of the First Unitarian Church of Hobart, Indiana. My name is Tina Porter, and I serve the community by being a member of, the worship and search team. We are a religious community of people with diverse beliefs and shared values. Our diverse beliefs are expressed in our 6 sources, and our shared values are expressed in our 7 principles, both of which can be found online. Together, we strive to grow spiritually, build community, and live our values in the world. We are currently in search for a full-time minister. When we do not have a minister in the pulpit, we invite members or guests to share a special message with us. This is one such Sunday. Today, we will hear from Anthony Cruz, a candidate towards Unitarian Universalist ministry, who has spent the first years of his career studying the intersections of anthropology, theology, and religion, seeking to create spaces of renewed imagination and collective liberation. He is currently a full-time ministerial intern at the Community Church of New York, Unitarian Universalist. During this time of responsible social distancing, we are striving to maintain the authenticity of our services. So we want to draw your attention to several parts of our service today. The bell you heard ringing was our actual church bell, which was recorded by Bob Allen. And James Johnson will be presenting the chalice that we use in the service. And the music you hear is recorded each week by our music director, Jeremy Jacobson. If you are willing and able, we invite you to leave your cameras on so that your fellow congregants can see you just as they would if they were physically present. There will be a time in the service when you will be unmuted briefly to say good morning to one another. I have a few announcements. Our service is recorded and will be made available for future viewing on Facebook, YouTube, and the church website. As you know, as you logged on this morning, that Zoom has changed its security settings. So for all meetings going forward, you'll need the password, which is the church's zip code 46342. Again, we'll be starting to do scrolling announcements at in the 10 minutes between our first hour and our worship. And in order to get those announcements put out, we need you to send them to Maggie Reister. I will put her email address in the chat box. Or Maggie, if you could do that, that would be great. We ask that you do that no later than Friday so we can scroll them on Sunday. As we've heard our prelude, I'll just simply ask you to take a deep breath, take a moment, and then we will go right into the lighting of the chalice. And I'm not sure if James is here to light the chalice or not. So we will just go forward with reading the words together. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of the life we share together. Our opening words this morning, forgive me, I'm going to take a sip. We'll go to the music in just a second. Thank you, Nick, for all you're doing and learning at once. Our opening words this morning are from the Reverend Teresa Soto from her book, Spilling the Light, which is available to you through Beacon Press, I believe. Yeah, Skinner House Books, I'm sorry, Skinner House Books. She is a Unitarian Universalist minister and lawyer, and I said she, and she is, and they are they, not she, so forgive me. Her words are from the poem, We Hold Hope Close. In this community, we hold hope close. We don't always know what comes next, but that cannot dissuade us. We don't always know just what to do, but that will not mean that we are lost in the wilderness. We rely on certainty, beneath the foundation of our values and ethics. We are the people who return to love like a North Star and to the truth that we are greater together than we are alone. Our hope does not live in some glimmer of an indistinct future. Rather, we know the way to the world of which we dream. And by covenant and the movement forward of one right action and the next, we know that one day we will arrive at home. Thank you. Will you join with me now in singing our opening hymn, Find a Stillness? I should say join in singing with Jeremy, not with me. So Nick, you're going to want to mute me now so I don't sing out loud.
Find a stillness, hold the stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit, giving power, I will find true harmony. Seek the essence, hold the essence, let the essence carry me. Let me flower, help me flower, watch me flower, carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit, giving power, I will find true harmony.
Will you join with me now as we recite our affirmation of faith? The words are on your screen. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament. Service is its prayer. And this is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Now Nick is going to unmute everyone, so you have a few seconds to greet each other, say hello, or type your hellos in the chat box.
There we are.
Yay! Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, everyone.
Good
to see your
faces.
Morning.
It's Deborah. Good morning, Deborah. I know you're here.
Hi, Deborah. Morning.
Welcome, Anthony. Hi, Myra.
Hello. Great.
Susan. Good to see Valerie up and about.
Yes.
Thank you. Susan, I sent you a link to a recipe site.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm making one of the recipes for lunch.
Fantastic.
Welcome.
Jeremy's here too. Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
All right, everyone. Let's give Nick a minute to mute everyone. And we'll move into our doxology and joys and sorrows. I really love the spirit of this church. Thanks to you all for just being willing to go with the flow when we're finding our way in the wilderness of the internet. So if you will, join with me now in singing our doxology. Only mute me.
From all that dwell below the sky, let songs of hope and praise arise. Let peace, goodwill, all men be sung. Through every land and every tongue. Amen.
You join with me now in singing our next hymn, number 113, Where is Our Holy Church?
Where is our holy church, where race and class unite, as equal person
Okay, we're not going to do the offering just yet. We're going to go to Anthony Cruz, who'll provide us with a sermon. So Nick, if you could highlight Anthony, and we'll go right into the sermon and then go into the offering. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone from New York. I'm glad to be here sharing a few words with this congregation, and I hope that you're able to take away something that edifies and brings transformation to your journey and self-discovery. The sermon that I will be sharing with you this afternoon is titled From Principles to Practice, Our Lived Traditions Embodied. As some of you might know, our traditions, currently known as Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations, was a merger between the Unitarians and the Universalists in 1961. Part of their journey to coming to this realization of merger was actually their own process through history of having social and theological upheaval. The Unitarians believed in oneness, to say the least, of course. And the Universalists believed, among many theological tenets, that there was salvation available for all from a spiritual understanding. After their merger, we later on see 7 principles that inform our Unitarian Universalist tradition. These principles inform Unitarian, Universalist, and Unitarian Universalist today. These 7 principles move our traditions, inform not only our congregations, but should also be an invitation to inform us, to move us into social action. I've been following the news, and to say the least, and not get into any political discourse, we have been living in these past few months in an upheaval of our own, a social unrest, a call from the people to the people to move beyond our intellectual bubble, to move beyond our areas of comfort within our congregations, or better said, our virtual congregations and spaces. It is a call of consciousness to begin a process of cultivating responsibility and enacting that responsibility into prophetic imagination. Such concept of prophetic imagination has been created by a theologian from the Protestant tradition, Brueggemann. And though I myself am a humanist, I really like his concept of prophetic imagination because he calls me to be aware, not only in the Christian tradition and their text, not only within the Jewish tradition, but actually calls me to move beyond the socialization processes to where I've come from into understanding that prophetic imagination is the interplay of prophetic, meaning the social awareness, the historical underpinnings of societies into the imagination. Imagination is that call of envisioning within ourselves what we hope to embody. So that requires for us to know our histories, to know where we come from, where are we, and where are we going. I'll say it again. Knowing our past, living our present, and moving in justice towards the future. However, in order to know the future, we must know our past, our present. So if we are to begin this journey, how are you being informed? Do you know your past? What narratives, stories have you been told? What religious, secular, ethical philosophies are informing your life today? And then how are you enacting them today? Our tradition within the UUA, some could say, has been known to be, quote, highly intellectual, close quote. But what does that mean? What does it mean to be intellectual? What does it mean to be knowledgeable? What knowledge are we enforcing, reinforcing, and embodying? Is it these intellectuals? Are there other intellectuals? Is it this book? Is it this other book? Are we just living in an intellectual exercise where we are not moving into the discomfort? Or maybe we are and just feel a little bit of a discomfort. And once we feel that, we say, hold on, let me go back and read again. Let me go and study the 7 principles once more. Or let us adapt another principles, as some of us might be seeing within our tradition. However, are we not being called to be in solidarity? And if we are hearing that call, what does solidarity mean? What does it mean? Not only for our institutions within the UUA, but for us. Because after all, prophetic imagination is that movement which normally does not happen in brick and mortar spaces, but requires the internal liberation of the people to respond to their sense of social oppression, spiritual, ethical. And in their response, then begins a process of movement towards deconstruction of those spaces, institutional caves, or areas of comfort where we have grown to just through that intellectual process. I don't know about you, but these past few weeks have really shaken me to the core. The depth, of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg was just a hit to my inner core. Why? Because she did not only, like it was shared earlier this morning, she was not just a woman. She was not just a mother. She did not just do law school and later on join our justice system. But through the power of her interpretation of the law, open the way for those within our society to see, to feel, to know that it could be possible to embody a form of liberation that she did not see in her upbringing. And it was her Jewish identity. It was her process of socialization. And it was her lived experience of oppression that inspired her, that moved her prophetically to not only do that intellectual exercise, not only just to look at the principles of her Jewishness and say, well, that is that, but impelled her, moved her to say, how can I interpret? How can I reframe all that has socialized me into a way of being? And so her depth is not just, oh, we lost maybe, quote, a liberal. Oh, a progressive. Oh, a woman who was a justice. But a prophetic and embodied being that reminded us to our call towards responsibility and the cultivation of prophetic imagination. I hope that as a congregation, you reflect on these words and respond as you are able. May it be so.
Thank you, Anthony. It's been a pleasure to get to know you over these few weeks as we've come to the service today. So thank you for your words and for your generosity of spirit. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Now is the time in our service. Now is the time in our service for our offering. We give to remind ourselves how many gifts we have to offer. We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space. We give with faith that together we have enough. You'll see the PayPal link on the screen, but it is not clickable. A clickable link will be shared in the chat box. Please give as you are able. Please give in the spirit of us being together again physically someday. And what will it take to get us there? So thank you. We'll listen to some music right now while you. Thank you for your generosity, for all you do for the church and for each other. Now we'd like to move into our closing hymn, Fire of Commitment, number 1028.
Set free from fear. When the power of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze. When our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way. When we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within. Then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
The closing words today are by Adrian Rich. And you can find these in the back of the gray hymnal. It's number 463, if you're so moved. My heart is moved by all I cannot save. So much has been destroyed. I have to cast my lot with those who, age after age, perversely, with no extraordinary power, reconstitute the world. Now it's time for our postlude. And then we will do the extinguishing of this chalice. join with me now, saying the words as we extinguish the virtual chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Blessed be, go in peace, and stick around to be unmuted for our virtual coffee hour. Thank you again to Anthony, Cruz. We're blessed to have you with us. Sounds like we're all unmuted.